Welcome back to the Gold Championship Series, Group B, second winner bracket semi-final. It is time for the fifth race. It is time for Moon to step into the ring. His opponent, most likely the weakest of them all, TBC BM, an upcoming undead from China, but not as strong as a Happy as Hawk said, not as strong as 120, and not as strong as WFZ. Plus, Moon's matchup is strongest matchup is versus Undead, so it would be a huge surprise, the biggest surprise, I guess, if TBC wins this year. Before we go into the coverage of that match, we have a few more supporters here. Thank you very much, Danny Dindins, Pax1G for the sub, also Water Joe for a 513 sub. RIK Prime for 413 sub, and Dennis WC3 donates 10 bucks. Have more vodka for you guys. Have fun in China. You only live once. All right, here we have the players, both dressed in white. There it is, of course, Giant J-Ho, former Meteor Makers player, Moon. We don't need to introduce him here, I guess. Korean, all right. I thought maybe English, but no. The oldest player in this grid, of course, a legend for such a long time, but the big stages, WCG, BlizzCon, GCS, WCA, it's just not his, as it seems.
Yeah, he has mentioned in the past, nerves still do get to him, unbelievably so, with everything that he's won, with all the success that he's had, with all the experience he was able to gather over the years. Yeah, we said earlier, Lin came back from the army and he was just destroying everyone. Don't get me wrong, Moon had successes as well. He has won tournaments as well, but didn't feel, especially offline, that he was so dominant. I feel he has something to prove, especially at GCS. So disappointing the last couple of times. And yeah, he's expected this time certainly to make it out of this group.
He looks insanely tired, man. Holy shit.
You think?
Yes.
I think he always looks like this.
Right. He's been grinding games here since we saw him arriving on Sunday afternoon. I have not seen him leave his chair. He's just grinding game after game after game. It doesn't really matter. What we said before, this is what sets him apart from Lawlight, who was playing PUBG, who was playing other stuff in the meantime. Moon, only Warcraft 3 games. Sick games, long games, intensive games. Maybe he overplays it a little. We will see if this increases his performance, if he's that prepared now. I mean, he's been playing for, what now, 15 years? He knows how to prepare for a tournament. This is TBCBM. His second appearance at GCS. He attended the first one. This is the 6th edition. Haven't seen him there in a long time. He did play Nostalgia Battlefield as well. That was his last offline event last year. But it's been quite some time, and he's not used to that stage. Together with Hunter and Chimiko, one of the debutants here, or the guys who are not experienced on that stage.
Made a name for himself, especially with Banshee usage. Not something you really can do against Night Elf if you're playing above 50% win rate BattleNet stats. Against Orc you can do that though. That's where he has the most success, as the stats tell us. Against Night Elf, it's looking rough for him. And on the other side, the favorite, he's really strong against Undead. He plays his own style, he plays Beastmaster, he plays Dark Ranger, he plays even Firelord 3rd or 2nd, what was it, like some time ago? He brought that into the meta, didn't survive for long, but had decent success with it. With a new patch, 1.29, we mentioned Moon over and over as one of the innovators, as one of the guys who might be discovering the new meta, new possibilities, new strategies. TBC, though, with his open mindset, could very well be one of the players on the forefront in that regard as well.
That dude played Banshees versus Night Elf. I mean, that's so crazy.
That's what I did 7 years ago, man. I felt like bears are so OP. They can buff your whole army.
I need curse?
They can heal you. I just stole them.
I see.
Possess them.
We will see if TBC gets to that stage of the game. Yesterday we had Infi versus Hunter. I feel this is the equivalent for Group B here.
Yes, pretty much. Normally, if this were more standard plays, I would say, wait a minute. This is Undead versus Night Elf. Normally, in the higher circles, this is looking very good for Undead. Could be destroy. Excuse me. Frostrom timing, like Happy goes Frostrom Rush. The first Frostrom so powerful. 1-0. His tier 3 timing with Frenzy Ghouls. WFZ. His Naga pressure. All that is super scary. But his TBCBM, he doesn't play like that. He plays very weird, very special. What is he gonna show here?
Yeah, Jang Jae-ho, 31 years old, the oldest player in the entire tournament. A sick 97% win rate against Night Elf on Netties. I think these numbers are so screwed, man. His matchup versus Undead is so good. It is the best in the world by far. He won PGL in 2016 and IEF in 2011, but you miss the big tournaments as we saw before. He missed actually the first quarter of 2018. We haven't seen him in one tournament during that time. But then he came back in AWL and in Color Cup. In AWL, he made it quite far, made it to the 3rd or 4th place, which was not played out, only losing to Lin, and he won Color Cup against TH 3-1 in the finals. TBC, on the other side, his year, what did he really play? He was invited to Automads Cup, was losing 2-0 to Chimiko, who lost yesterday in the group stage, as you saw. And he played Color Cup also there, losing in the group stage. He's been playing for 13 years, as it seems. Holy cow, that's a long time. 27 years old, one of the middle-aged guys here, I guess. His win rate, you compare it to Moon, compare it to Lin, he's around 60%. All the other guys are around 80, 90% in their matchups. He's, such an underdog, as we said before. But he grinded ladder, and in Asia there was a ladder race for the qualifiers, and his ladder performance was pretty damn good. Grinding games, getting points, showing up at GCS, not too bad. He didn't make it to the playoffs once, though. He always dropped in the group stages 3 times, actually, once in the round of 32.
And you kept him, you started calling him, I don't know, a couple of months ago, an up-and-coming Undead player. Do you really feel he has the potential to break into that tier 2, maybe tier 3 of players? Chimiko, we started noticing him really last year. He has certainly made his way there. He has gotten respectable results. TBC, you think he has what it takes here with a bit more experience, with a bit more practice, to become more of a threat in the future?
Well, he's already 27 years old and apparently playing for such a long time. Rather not. We started on last refuge in this matchup, so this is going to be our first map with a decent expansion chance here, which is sometimes the win condition for Night Elves in this matchup. But yeah, let's talk about the win rates that we have, thanks to Warcraft 3.info, thanks to guys like TurboZao, the stats guy of Warcraft 3. TBC versus Moon, we've seen that 3 times. It is 0-3. TBC has never won a single map against Moon, ever. And yeah, let's take a look. Moon versus Night Elf has an insane 69% win rate in a matchup that is favored towards Undead.
That's pretty damn strong. He's going up against Lucifer quite often. I don't know if we should take that information with a bit of grain of salt. Lucifer, infamously bad at that matchup, but yeah. Moon, still, I don't know, is that a bit of old school aura around him? Night Elf used to be very strong against Undead until WFZ and Happy came along and all the Night Elves started feeling powerless. Maybe even you can go back to WFZ in 2014, whom also we're going to be seeing in Foggy's group D, in 2 days. But yeah, no matter how you look at this matchup, what strategies are they going to play, how long have they been practicing, what does the ladder say about them, it is certainly going to be very outmatched. This could very well be our 7th 2-0 in a row.
We have a streak going on here, man. It would be... Ugri said he runs around naked if TBC wins here. I'm curious if he has the balls to do it, but I guess we will see then. Moon on the left, TBC on the right. The stats have one clear favorite, and the fans, I guess, have one clear favorite, and that is Moon. Will we see the dream winner bracket final of Moon versus Lin, the 2 highest earning players in Warcraft 3 history? He's number 1. He's the 5th race. TBC is the underdog, clearly. Last refuge. Oh, wait.
Usually a pretty good Undead map. You can creep very quickly with destroyers once you have them, bloodlust and all that. The Night Elf can expand, certainly, but it's not too hard to creep, and if you to scout, excuse me, and if you see it, you should be able to cancel it, and that is what this matchup is about on the highest level. Night Elf needs expansion. You cannot win this on one base. TBC, is he on the highest level? Moon, does he need an expansion to stand a chance in the late game? I'm not so certain.
He likes Dryads a lot. Like, he plays them in a lot of matchups, more than other players. And so I think he will stick to them so far. I mean, of course you have a lot of bears in that army mix every time. But Moon, not too much of a Hippogriff player, if I'm not mistaken. The big question here is what's TBC going to play so far. It's quite standard, I'd say. And on the other side, we have a Demon Hunter for Moon. No Tavern Hero.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting it actually, but no, it's extremely standard. A standard gets Ghoul opening versus a standard Night Elf opening. Not even a greedy creep camp, which I actually really like to see if you go for the merchant creep first. That is hard to punish because the trappers ensnare the ghouls should they be aggressive, but as it is, TBC isn't scouting anyways. Moon certainly is. He wants to know what's going on. This is a bit of a wild card player. He plays Banshees, he plays weird stuff. Maybe you can't even be safe against the double crypt Ghoul Rush, which I haven't seen in a very long time though.
Moon ended up 5th in the Asian GCS race. There were 12 players coming from that race, so amongst the best was 20 points. TBC on the other side only 12th with 14 points. So it was really his ladder performance that got him here. You got points for monthly tournaments and for monthly ladder races, so quite a grinder. But does it help him here in the one-on-one? DK starts with the Gloves of Haste for the Lich later on. That will be good. Of course, Skeletons creeping. Not too much scouting from the Undead so far.
Yeah, keeps it all for creeping purposes. Selling the TP, by the way, that kind of surprises me that TBC does this. I mean, he has been playing for a long time, but normally only like the really old school players keep on doing this. Lucifer comes to mind. TP can be very useful because once there's Dryads, you mentioned them, the map control goes over to the Night Elf unless he fell behind early on, and then if you get creep jacked, having that TP to get out can be very helpful. Level 2 here for the DK. Coil unlocked. Demon Hunter not level 2 and runs into a surround immediately. Sleep on the wheel there. The Wisp won't be able to detonate him away to freedom. Can he fight out? Can he kill the Ghoul? There should be another Coil.
Oh, he was trying to block with the DK, but there's a Ghoul to block further. There's another Coil, but the level up saves him actually. Moon slipping, but getting his balance back. Is there another Coil for the DK? Can't see it at the moment. Long range, he had the arm up, but Moon moving out of range, man. Dangerous, dangerous situation.
He stop canceled that Coil. He thought the TP was going to get triggered. Really greedy. He tried to save the mana, and now the TP has been preserved, and it only would have cost 75 mana. Not a good start for TBC.
Certainly not. He was handed this early game on a silver platter, but no, not yet at least. The Ghoul pressure is still there, though. I'm a little bit unlucky that he has this ward here. Moon used a lot of Moon Juice, though, to heal his Demon Hunter back up.
It's still not time for a long time, though, so he's going to be able to regen all of that mana. And did we actually see any mana burns, by the way?
I don't think so.
Does he seriously have
Evasion first, maybe. Oh, there it is.
There is the mana burn. He already killed 2 ghouls. If you get 3 ghouls in the early game, that's great for you. But if you get all your archers surrounded, that's also pretty good for the undead. But archers get away, boots of speed, good items, what I heard, is going to make this another surefire kill for the Demon Hunter. That's the 3rd ghoul kill traded for nothing.
Yeah, pretty damn good after a shaky start here. Usually this never happens to very good Night Elves to get his Demon Hunter surrounded. I mean, you mentioned it in Foggy games all the time, like there's a risk of being surrounded, but... Oh, actually, is this the second time? No, it's not. But they always find a way to squeeze through this army of ghouls. And Moon with an expansion here now. He sees, okay, this early game was very good for me. He doesn't have that much normal damage in the absence of ghouls, so here we go.
Scouted though immediately, thanks to that sentry ward, which was popped down. The first one did get dewarded, but not the second one. Question is, when does he want to cancel this? Of course you can send the ghouls over immediately and cancel it with a certainty, but then the Night Elf is going to get the resources back very soon, and the opportunity cost will not have been so expensive. Demon Hunter keeps on creeping. This is what I really hope Foggy will start doing one day. Please try to prioritize level 3 Demon. It's really, really good. And now he's so close to it as well. Lore's on their way, halfway done. And if TBC doesn't move north very soon, this Expo is going to come through. And when it comes through so early, that is a big problem for the Undead.
Yeah, usually the timing for the Undeads to kill the expansion is when it's up. So he can't cancel it anymore, and he has to walk a long way to the expansion, and he has to creep that expo. So TBC does have some time to finish this.
But with Dryads out, I don't think he's going to be able to kill that expo, unless it's far away from the trees. But there's going to be a second hero for Moon soon as well. What's it going to be? Panda seems a little greedy to me. You already have the expo pretty much certainly done now. I love that he brings the Wisps over in case there's an attack towards the expo. He could perhaps even repair it. Here is the Lich, and he's gonna try to cancel it now, but this tree already has 1000 HP. I think it's too late. Maybe if he wakes up the creeps, but the army is here, the tree is finished. This is not gonna happen.
We have an Alchemist second by Moon. He goes to the tavern. We all know that he loves drinking. He also goes to the tavern very often to get a hero from there, sometimes first, sometimes seconds. But that is a very unusual choice against Undead.
That's the first time I'm seeing it. So what's the skill build?
I mean, chemical acid bomb should be amazing with schools.
Bomb, yeah. Acid bomb plus focus fire against the ghouls. They're gonna die so quickly.
Yeah, like seriously, -3 armor and damage over time, plus the focus fire of 4 archers and 2 dryads. Have fun with that. No way to coil against that.
Second spell, heal spray could perhaps be good against Nova or something.
And destroyers and Nova and worms. It's all AoE. A little bit, but okay. Yeah, we have it confirmed here. Acid bomb first.
This is such a horrible early game for TBC, man. This is ghoul kill number 4. Oh my god, he's gonna get both. 5 ghouls lost. Not a single kill in return.
Not one archer, right? I mean, so hard. He's getting close to level 3, and that is the power spike of the Undeads usually, because you have so much more attack speed and movement speed on your ghouls. You have the Orb of Corruption, you get the Destroyer upgrade. But I mean, the Frenzy doesn't do too much anymore.
Yeah, this is, to be honest, this is looking horrible. This is looking almost unwinnable. Like, how is he gonna kill this expo? Level 2 now for the Alchemist. There's always the X factor for Undead, which is nuke. Hero kill. If you kill the demon first, kill the Alchemist right after, maybe this is still doable. But I don't think there's any other way.
Yeah, Alchemist has a pretty high HP pool, so against nukes he is pretty well equipped. I mean, against physical damage, he's weak, but against spells he's quite nice, even on level 1. So maybe that is the target, but very, very hard. Heal ward's something that won't really help him. Gets the first Nova out. Demon Hunter is scouting this. Sees, okay, there's nothing really that I should be scared about. Alchemist gets to level 3. Boots of Quel'Thalas for the Demon Hunter, so even more damage on the first hero, who got very nice equipment actually. Plus 11. It is a Temple of the Damned! It is a Temple of the Damned! Remo, wait, we have a wagon. Is this Necros?
I think so.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's Necro Wagons, yeah.
It's TBC special.
Which takes a long time to take into. And against which an expansion will be running all in the meanwhile. So, can this weird strategy catch him off guard? Weirdly enough, it's really good against Dryads because you can summon way more skeletons than they can dispel. The answer against this is AoE and Fairy Dragons, which I guess are AoE themselves. But Moon has so much time before he's in any danger.
I mean, Wisps are also a solution, right? Detonate.
It's pretty expensive, but he has the money.
Yeah, with the expansion, easily.
Chim's also really good.
Double Temple and Adept upgrade. Wow.
Alright, he is,
Frenzy Lich coming.
He is, you know, staying true to his name, to what he's known for. Double heal scroll already gonna be very nice against the AoE.
Like, if you're known, not that used to watching Warcraft, this strategy, what TBC is playing right now, you see it in one of a million games on pro level, I think. I saw it played by TED once. That was maybe in 2009. Since then, I can't remember a single game on a high level that was played like this. But Moon is pushing forward, trying to destroy this.
Yeah, and at the moment, the Undead is nowhere near in fighting shape. And Moon certainly is. Chemical Rage, by the way.
Yeah, no heal spray.
Heal spray would have been pretty good though
Yeah,
against,
I think so
against the
too.
wagons, but
Yeah.
alright.
They can cut through the skeletons then in like no time. Okay, does he have the upgrade for the wagons? That would be nice. He's going for Engine of Wind now, seeing what TBC is planning. And he's starting the red spot while TBC is moving over. I mean, he must have the upgrade for the wagon, right? Otherwise, this makes no sense.
Yeah, he must have, what's it even called? Exhumed corpses or something?
Yes, so you pack up some corpses into your wagons, you unload them in front of the Night Elf base, then you create a lot of skeletons from those corpses. Ooh, awesome battle drums. Nice.
And level 4. Really nice upgrades here. But the demon's low now. He doesn't have Reju, no bears to speak of. But the attack is not yet commencing. Oh, he's losing another ghoul to creeps. This is the second one, by the way. And Crystal Ball for his efforts. Which will most likely sell. I feel like he's been at 42 supply this entire game.
Yeah, right.
Well, he started with less, I guess.
Well, 42 is quite a good number if you listen to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, for example.
I love that movie. That was so good.
The book is even better, mate.
So underrated as well, critics-wise. Anyways, here we go. TP coming over. There's a Tinker third with a Pocket Factory, which I have a funny feeling will not survive for too long. Repositioning of the Dryad. So if these meat wagons are untouched, they can do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a while as well. There needs to be a steady front line of skeletons. But the Wisps are coming in. The Demon Hunter is moving in. He's low HP, but so is the Lich. Moving back with the wagons pretty nicely. Already hearing a couple of Necromancers falling. Even a Fairy Dragon now in the army. And there... This is not the undead... Yeah, Zerg Rush. This is not an overwhelming amount. This is not the campaign showing itself again. Because this push has been deflected easily.
Yeah. 10 supply ahead, and the expansion is still standing, not even touched. I mean, and there wasn't even a Wisp to mass detonate, which would be a nice solution to this strategy. He gets Fury Dragons now, so in the next fight, whenever the Necros cast, they get a lot of damage, plus a little bit AoE, so most likely the skeletons will be hurt as well. Close to level 5 on the Alchemist, man. Chemical Rage level 2, chunk, 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 so easy.
Just so much damage here, look at this. Oh, the right clicks. One of our favorite heroes in the game. The biggest recipient of the buffs, it seems, in this patch. We see him a lot, but usually with Heal Spray, not here, but it seems to be good enough against the weird strategy from TBC. I wonder, had he not fallen so incredibly far behind early, would he still have played this?
Well, it is kind of a do-or-die strategy, so it kind of fits. I don't know. We saw this before, that he's playing weird strategies when he has the chance to play against the big players. In the qualifiers, he played normal, so I don't know.
It's looking very desperate now, obviously, as you guys can tell, only from the numbers. 20 supply ahead for Moon. Wouldn't surprise me if we see Chims coming in soon. Or is he still only tier 2?
Yeah, there's no anti-air, right? Except like the Necros, but
yeah, Chims would be so sick.
Yeah, I mean the Lich as well, but Chimeras are like so tanky. You see a few Wisps moving out, he kills them off before burning the mana of the Necros. So the expansion, he wasn't able to get that one. Oh, we have upgrades here now with Skeleton Mages. Will this help?
Well, they still get detonated though, even if they're mages, not immune to Dispel. Alchemist is dropping low, we mentioned it earlier, he's low armor, the Orb of Corruption certainly doing nice work, but now even the Wand of the Wind had been used. This is just an overwhelming army, dude. This is just way too much. Yeah, everything's stinking, everything's poisoned up, but it doesn't matter. Tinker dies. And this could be the last moments. He swaps over the TP, the Lich will survive, so will the DK.
Yeah, the heroes were in such a bad position after the Wind of the Wind with a nice usage by Moon here. Cyclone the heroes up, move forward with your army, so you separate like the wagons from the casters and the heroes. That was quite nice. Level 3-3 for the undead. I think we have 5-4, maybe 5-5 even for Moon at the moment. Who goes bears now? No Chimera Roost. Oh, he's not even tier. Is he on the way to tier 3?
Yes.
Okay, not even on tier 3. But 4 Fury Dragons. That is so much damage if the Necros start to cast again.
Yeah. Well, I guess he feels he has another push left in him. By the way, still no ziggurats available to go up to 60 supply. But here we go. Another try. This must be 5-5 heroes by now for Moon. Trying to perhaps intercept the army here in the middle of the map. But even if he... there's only one meat wagon, and that one gets taken out quickly. This is a narrow choke. Could this be perhaps something for the... Oh my god, the splash damage from the ferries. Way too sick.
The elimination is cut off as well. It's gonna take some time to kill them. But okay, the wagons are doing some damage. The air bomb is taking some time, but the necros are never able to cast again. The piercing damage from the mage is coming in, by the way. He kills a few dryads, but Moon has such a huge supply lead. 78 versus 38.
Wait a minute. Stay in a little bit longer. Alchemist almost level 6. I want to see the transmute. Give me that money.
Ultimate of the Alchemist, pretty rare that we see that, but not yet. He's having a lot of fun, I guess.
It's always nice to play a game like this when you know no matter what you do, you can't lose. It's GG. We saw this coming for a little while now. 1-0 for the favorite Moon.
Alright. That was not TBC's game at all. What a chance in the early game for him to surround the DH and yeah, basically twice couldn't get the kill, could have forced the town portal, stopped the coil though. And so from then on everything spiraled out of control. So many ghoul kills early. This is not normal at all. We've seen this and we've talked about this for quite some time, that the more ghouls you kill in the early, the easier is your mid and therefore your late game. And man, Moon, just Christmas and birthday on one day.
Yeah. I can totally feel for TBC because that's always how those games look for me on ladder. Demon gets level 3, he gets the ghouls and he kills, he gets the boots and he kills all of my ghouls. The very best undeads 1-0 and happy. They are so good at protecting their hurt ghouls with the rest of their army. They move like 3 units at the same time, so even with the boots, the demon can't get there. Really hard to micro. Not many who can do that. TBC could do that, not quite successful to do that in that game. I think when he opened up the surround on the Demon Hunter, he could have kept it close with the ghoul.
He tried to keep it close with the DK again, but failed.
But he could have healed the ghoul, but I think what he tried to do was go in with a surprise coil and kill the demon with that. But the ghoul dies, he gets the level up, he gets more HP, coil doesn't kill him. An unfortunate series of events, and TBC will lose this game thanks to it. But this was a very unusual early game.
122 killed units. I wonder if skeletons count. That must be.
Yeah. Of course.
This is the high score.
He didn't lose that many ghouls, okay? He didn't lose that many ghouls.
Can we keep track? This is the high score so far. The 122 kills. 81 supply at one point even. TBC did break upkeep at one point, apparently, according to this stat. But yeah. I think it's good for Moon to get TBC as the first opponent, because he was struggling so often at GCS. So if he can get that good feeling after game 1 or after series 1 and start the momentum for him, I think this is very important for Moon's overall performance in this tournament.
I agree. He has seemed to feel the nerves, and if he can get a whiff of confidence from the beginning, that's pretty nice. So, bans, by the way, did we mention them earlier?
Nope.
Terrana stand for TBC used to be very good for Night Elf nowadays. We don't really know. And Turtle Rock, that's the standard ban for the Night Elf still. And Ancient Isles we move on to next. Historically, pretty good on that map. Really hard to find efficient creeping on this map. The first one with the Ancient of War is very good, but then getting to the next camp, really hard to achieve for the Night Elf.
Also pretty predictable expansion, and pretty easy to scout as well.
Yes.
So the ghoul timing oftentimes, like the tier 3 ghoul timing that I mentioned in game number 1, oftentimes lines up perfectly with the finished expansion. So you have the strongest point of the undead army and you have the weakest point of the Night Elf army, and then they clash. So it is a good chance for TBC on this map. But yeah, he's still the big underdog.
I like to see him play standard here. Go into Frostworms. This is a great Frostworm map,
yes,
as you were mentioning with
Can
the
you
expansion.
tell new players what a good Frostworm map is?
Frostworms are flying units, and flying units can move above the trees. And when there's lots of trees everywhere, you can really mess with the AI, because the knife will try to focus fire Frostworms because they're so powerful. But when they're above the trees, they can't get seen anymore, and then the Dryads just wiggle around, stand there, do nothing. And that is pretty much the biggest reason why 1-0 and Happy make that matchup look so imbalanced sometimes, because they have one Frostworm and that thing wins the fight by itself for them. But
It's a
again,
half hero, basically strongest unit in the game.
yeah,
Very expensive though.
every attack slows so much, deals incredible amounts of damage against bears, but requires a lot of micro, and that is why at the very highest level only very, very few units can make a name for themselves. Happy from Europe is extremely strong, but doesn't participate in the biggest competitions because he doesn't feel like it. 1-0, the most successful player at GCS, two-time champion already. WFZ, also pretty strong, still has yet to prove himself offline though.
That is correct. We have seen some good performances at WCA 2014, but it's 14. And in team competition, it's interesting. We're going to talk about that most likely on Thursday when we have Foggy's group together with Live and Fly and the before mentioned WFC.
Gonna be such a sick group, man. It's really looking forward to that one.
Yes, very, very even games then. Moon versus TBC so far, not too much. What can the Undead change to have a better early game? What would be your advice?
I think just
Like, what do you do now? Do you go like super standard and try that, or do you go full out cheese like Lich first, something something?
I guess it's a personality thing, right? TBC is known for being an unusual player for having special strategies. I, from personal experience, would say I would try to play it standard, but that's because I'm a standard player. Better advice for him, I think, would be, alright, let's try to do this super cheesy, just stay on one base, go for the Necro Wagons, and try not to lose too much before. Or is he actually gonna try to play this straight up?
We'll see about that. Taking the lead, 1-0 for him. Jang Jae-ho spawning in the bottom right, and TBCBM, the biggest Chinese underdog here in this tournament, spawning in the upper left. Maybe, yeah, just a horrible early game. I would really love to know how good this wagon push would have been with more ghouls. So maybe we can see it here. I mean,
I don't think it would have been very good, man.
Base to base distance is pretty close.
And
so maybe he's trying it again.
I mean, I would love for it to be successful, you know. So we finally have a 3-game series, for God's sake. But I don't know. You know, he even trolled around with a second hero. Yeah, the Alchemist didn't look bad that game, but every hero would have looked decent that game.
Oh, Moon!
Speaking of trolling around with
Is he
heroes.
fooling around now? Keeper of the Grove, we have seen that from Sonic, for example, even before the patch, so it's not like Night Elves never played this. I mean, a Pardon would have been almost disrespectful, I guess. But the Keeper has some upsides, I guess, can once again kill a lot of ghouls early,
Yes.
can put pressure on your DK, so there is a few pro points here for the Keeper of the Grove. By the way, I saw some guys mention in chat that the crowd is so small. Yes, that is because it's not publicly open yet. Only some co-workers are here and friends and family of the players. But if you're in Shanghai, you can come to this studio on Saturday and Sunday and join us and meet us and watch the games with a hopefully big crowd.
Yeah, really looking forward to that one. I wonder how many people are gonna show up. I wonder if we're gonna hear him like roaring in up here. That would be the most amazing thing. Yeah, Keeper of the Grove always had a place in the meta, at least on ladder. In pro play, he seems to be too easily countered. Once there's the spell, this hero doesn't do anything anymore. Both of his skills can be dispelled. He has an aura, which maybe could be decent against ghouls, but isn't really all that great. It is all about the early game. You have to get an advantage early, you have to get an expansion, you have to get a big army, and then your army has to carry you, because it certainly won't be the Keeper who does that. So that's why this hero is dangerous. If you don't manage to achieve this early, you're in a lot of trouble.
True that. And Chad is saying that he played that against 1-2-0 successfully, so it's not like on this very map, so it might be a pocket strat of him that he pulls out every now and then. And what he does is here, delaying the tech by so much as TBC has to reproduce the second Acolyte already. And usually a fast tech and a fast tier 3 and a fast power spike is what you want, but the Keeper now, trapped in the base, forced into a town portal.
Kind of surprised that he TPs there. Like, what's he really gonna do now? I guess he keeps on harassing. There's the second Agent of War in a very unusual position indeed. And the DK going for aura first, he was certainly expecting the Demon Hunter, and now not having healing from a coil against Entangle is really annoying.
This kind of a, yeah. He could have waited until he sees the first hero and then decide to go for Aura or Coil. But yeah, this is like the reason for Aura is like you don't want to get mana burn. And again, here comes the Entangle.
He's gonna get
First
a
kill
second
for
one.
sure. Yeah, I think so too.
Oh boy.
The little birds that the keeper shoots.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
even using the Entangle. Oh my god, even more gold. 2 Acolytes, 2 Ghouls. Amazing early game for Moon again.
And it could be more. Look at the experience for the DK. He's still so far away from Coil. And this is usually where the Expo pops down. Is it somewhere? No, he doesn't have the lumber. He's very low on lumber, Moon.
Maybe he just tagged because he has a Huntress opening, so later tag.
Kind of surprised me if he only takes an expands on tier 2. But alright. Trying to block here against the keeper. Very squishy hero, of course. That's another issue with the hero. If the undead heroes get strong and the keeper's out of position once, he just pops immediately to the Coil Nova.
Indeed, that is certainly a chance for TBC here. We mentioned it last game that hero focus has always been the strength of the undead. Against the Demon Hunter, of course, a lot of armor, good amount of HP if you find a few good items. The Alchemist, oh, Ancient Protector.
Oh my god.
Yeah, with this opening, why not?
God.
The AOW is so far out of the map as well, so it's kind of proxy. TBC going Gargs actually, but against Ancient Protectors, man, they're not that good.
They certainly aren't. And they're not going to get scouted, these APs. He doesn't have this on the list of things that might be dangerous. I guess he's thinking that there must be an expansion somewhere. That's what I would have thought. But now he scouted everything. So now he sees, alright, you have no expo. Is this going to start ringing the alarm bells here for him? He hasn't scouted. He's not sending out any ghouls.
Good thing is, oh, entangles around, try now. The good thing is that Moon is switching over to Glaive Throwers now, so the Gargs will be very good against the siege units, and he can take them out quickly.
Yeah, but he must be Bringer Wisp for repair. Yeah, there they are. So he's gonna see him now. Uh-oh, the jig is up. They're very slow though.
So what's the solution against these APs now?
Go for Lich, go for Meatwagon, defend, kill the Glaive Throwers. Normally for that you would really like to have Coil Nova to kill the Wisps, but he's still only level 1 DK. That's the biggest problem. Level 2 DK might be good enough, but level 1 is so bad.
Gargs is always like a not usual strategy on this map. You can do it because there's 2 Drakes in the upper right and the bottom left, so you can creep big camps very, very fast. But yeah, they're also good against Huntress, but he did not expect these protectors.
Oh, the glaive positioning.
Wow.
So good. Can't reach him.
DK has no TP. He's entangled, he can't staff, but he has more mana for the next entangle. So I guess this DK might even fall. As I said before, the Glaive Thrower is taken out early. Good control on the
He killed
Gargs.
1 Glaive Thrower, but he lost like all but 1 ghoul for this.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby. That was a hard commitment. Really well done by Moon though, how he protected those was super nice execution.
Yeah, man. Moving the Glaive Thrower next to the forest and next to the AP and repairing that, it was so cool.
And now the undead in trouble indeed. 29 supply only, 2 ghouls left only. And there's always going to be entangles. So here comes the first meat wagon.
But so it is wagons again.
But you need level 2 DK, man. He doesn't have any healing.
There's still no coil. Let me remind you, there's still no coil. And yeah, okay, the Lich is out. Thank God, the Altar falls.
And this has a decent chance of working, actually.
Yes, of course. I mean, there's 2 Gargs. He's supply stuck. He gets 1 wagon out. But I guess the Keeper can take care of it. I mean, he can't entangle, but right-clicks.
I wonder what the experience is on the Keeper. Because level 2 entangle became a lot better, especially against heroes. With that, he could certainly find some kills.
Yeah, this is the first World Championship on 1.29, so we mentioned those patch notes, so these balance changes a couple of more times here. TBC trying to break this, but the DK is in the middle of everything, trying to staff out mass damage still, but survives for now. One of the crypts is down, though.
There's only 1 meat wagon. And there's 5 glaive throwers. Excuse me?
I mean, you win this game by killing buildings, right? If you have a lot of siege units, you kill buildings fast.
True. It's true. And at this rate, these buildings are gonna die pretty damn quickly. His ground force is pretty small, though. So if there was a big number of ghouls, maybe even fiends, maybe he could break through this, but like every unit he gets is getting taken out one after the next so quickly.
And you get ghouls and fiends and gargs from the crypts. There's no crypts anymore. Only able to go for statues or wagons at the moment. And that is not the solution, I guess. TBC enjoying his time in the booth, on stage, trying his best. I mean...
Are you sure he's enjoying his time right now? Not so certain, buddy. Graveyard gone as well. That doesn't change anything, really. But now the Black Citadel. Look at this damage. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's just too much.
You can't prepare against this. That's... Way too much. Acolytes trying their best. There's no Warple Blades because it's only tier 1, I think.
Yeah, pretty sure it's only tier 1. Gargs are trying as well to get rid of the siege damage, but Moon is prepared for basically everything.
It's taking quite a while though to deal with these ground forces.
Oh,
Finally level 2. My goodness.
First coil of the game after I don't know how long this lasts.
And just barely in time. So actually the Black Citadel does survive. Surprises me. Okay. Maybe there is still a chance.
He has 2 wagons and that's his army. Plus the heroes, of course. Still, there is a chance now for Coil Nova. It's only level 1, but only level 2 keeper as well.
But one more AP is gone. So I think he only has 1 AP left, or at least only 1 AP.
Oh, if there's no
right
AP,
now.
I think the Lich will reign supreme over this army. I mean, of course, Entangles around.
And the 1 Gargoyle.
But there's only the keeper to deal with this Garg. It will take forever, though, to get another crypt up.
I think Moon was a little bit too ambitious there, going for the building so hard. Should have probably tried to kill the meat wagons with that AP support. And now, those glaives, they have good damage, but they die so fast at the same time. And the Wisps are trying to repair, but they're falling as well. Level 2 for the Lich. Oh, but the DK in trouble. One more Entangle will be the kill. But there's no more mana on this Keeper of the Grove.
Long time no kill for Moon. I mean, he gets a few detonates there.
I think he had this. Did he? If he had a crypt still,
yeah,
I think this would be great, but
yeah.
doesn't have it.
Okay, now he takes care of the wagons, gets the level 3, and have fun heroes now. The Entangle is so good. More damage in less time.
By the way, look at how he uses ground attack on the glaive throwers. Yeah. Really good anticipation of where the meat wagon is going. He has done this before. Meat wagons, glaive throwers, Moon knows how to... Well, Zeppelin's what I wanted to say. Here's the Entangle. There's a surround. The Lich gets healed, but can he get out? That's the question. There's no more healing after this. But oh, the surround opens actually.
Invested Coil and Nova though. All he can do with his gold is buying more and more meat wagons. Does he have a shop, by the way? Yes, there's a statue. The statue is super duper important for TBC, for the regen. Gets another kill here.
Yeah,
Moon
2
transitioning
actually.
into archers.
Got 2 glaive throwers right there. But this is now once again becoming a pretty sturdy army. Ghouls and Gargs don't have such free reign anymore. But once they walk into the Black Citadel, they may very well die just as quickly.
Yeah, Moon listening to the old advice, never fight in an undead base. Keeps his army off Blight for most of the time. So is TBC trying to get a crypt back? I think so.
Yeah, must be.
Mass repair saves this one, but not for much longer. No. The pressure is getting lower and lower and lower with the siege units being gone.
A good hold here by TBC.
Yes. It looked so one-sided, but man, staying in this game was actually worth it.
Maybe a little too heavy on the glaives, not heavy enough on the real army. And the shop also very late. With more entangles, this could have been different. But yeah, this is broken. Damn, I thought this was totally over.
I would love to know if Moon is still on tier 1. Because then it's a big tech advantage. He didn't expand behind this push. So it's only archers. He didn't transition into Dryad, so I think we can assume it's tier 1. Yeah. Maybe he teched a minute ago.
Pretty sure it is.
Ah, okay, he is now, as he's standing at the tavern. Going for...
a hope and a prayer. This is looking like the first 2-1 series of our tournament, I think.
Well,
but actually there's Creepjack coming.
Yep.
And there is Entangle.
Yep, and there's no town portal, of course. There is a staff, there is a bit of mana on the DK. There's also Nova to escape. And here's the first Entangle. Is the damage enough to follow that up? He gets this around with the help of the creeps. He is one of the coils. He's trying to Nova out. That worked before. Will it work again? DK. Oh, there's more Entangles.
Oh, he's trying to transfer it, I think. Is he?
Another call. The DK is also super low. And this takes some time.
Nice.
He's throwing with pillows and Tangle again. Lich dead. Level 4 on the Keeper of the Grove. And that must be it then. He's trying to get the crypts back up, but the Archer's very nice. Taking care and destroy the buildings once again.
If he gets in range for the DK, he can kill him, but he's so fast with the aura he won't be able to.
Lich back from the tavern.
What? Why? Level 2 only.
He wants him now. He has
Did
nothing
he lose
else.
His altar? Oh, he lost his altar. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No chance. This is very unlucky that the Shredder spawns in a surround. And again, here's a surround on the Lich. He calls for the GG. And again, for the 7th time in a row, GCS Summer delivers a 2-0 and Moon follows Lin into the winner bracket final without breaking a sweat.
Yes, deservedly so. TVCBM, he needs a little bit more practice. Didn't really stand a chance. In the next game, he's going up against Hawk in the lower bracket against our European representative. That should be a closer game. Is it going to be a closer game? I don't know. It's going to be our next one coming up soon. The two favorites once again prevail. Are they going to make it through all the way, or will Hawk have to say something about it? After seeing TBC, I must say, not too hopeful for his chances.
Me neither. That's of course good for Hawk, and as we always cheer for the Europeans a little, this is good for us as well. But man, dreams come true at the Gold Championship Series. Moon versus Lin, the most successful Warcraft player against the second most successful Warcraft player. Both from Korea, both in an insane shape. Moon, since he's back, like his comeback in April, we thought, okay, what Moon will we see? It's kind of weird that he always takes vacation the first 3 months of a year, but man, he played only 2 tournaments this year, excluding from GCS, and he at least made it to the semifinals. So as every time, we expect a lot from Moon to show off, but yeah, making it through the winner bracket is insanely hard against Lin now. This is the best of the best coming now. Moon, one of the favorites. Lin, the top favorite. Looking forward to that.
Here we are, the summary again. Yeah, I mean, this was just an outmatch. Moon certainly a stronger player here. I actually think TBC should have won that game. Just, you know, your opponent is stuck on one base with tier 1. Just make sure you don't lose your heroes. What does he do? He goes out creeping and loses his heroes. Ugh.
Yeah, well, maybe he's nervous. Only his 3rd offline event. I mean, that can happen. Maybe a little overconfident after holding that. Maybe he wanted to go for the level 3 DK to have a better nuke. Here we have the highlights from this very match. Game number 1 on Last Refuge. This was a Necro Wagon strategy. Very, very rare to see that. The AoE, the Disease Cloud, all the skeletons, they didn't help poor TBC, and Moon simply crushed him here.
Yeah, started off with a horrible early game. Demon got off to such a great start with the 3 ghoul kills, and that's, yeah, a bad beginning, a bad omen for any undead. And when you're the underdog against Moon, even more so the case. And then here, Moon, like, fooling around a little, going for the Keeper first AP push. A very rare strategy, even on ladder.
Yeah, man, very unique series, one might say.
Absolutely.
It was fun to watch, though. It was something different, and yeah. Oh, they showed this as a highlight, man. That's so mean. That is so mean. Shame on you, guys. Shame on you. But yeah, Lin versus Moon is coming up. You see it in the bottom right. This is going to be an absolute highlight. Call your friends, call your dog. They have to tune into this stream now. We have to say thank you to a few supporters here. Thank you, Mikey PX, for a 9-month resub. Thank you, Valentin Bernauer, for the 2-month resub. And thank you, the Sunstrider, for the 100-bit cheer. Get hyped, everybody. Lin versus Moon coming up.